Hey everybody, Koya checking in. I haven't made a video since the beginning of the year, so Happy New Year, Happy 2020. Hopefully, your year has been off to a good start, and things are looking up for you. Please know that at any moment, your new year can start right now. So, don't get caught up too much if your year haven't kicked off to how you anticipated, how you expected it to go. Know that you can always start right from where you are right now. So, I wanted to make this video and talk about mental health and wellness, and really nurturing our mental wellness, and pursuing wellness in our day-to-day lives. And for those of you who don't know, I'm actually back in school after a very long hiatus. I am pursuing a master's right now, and I'm studying psychology, which is something that I've always been very fascinated and intrigued by. Studying human behavior, understanding why we do the things that we do, why we think the way that we think. Soon enough, I will be a licensed psychotherapist. So I'm excited about that. And I'm happy to be embarking on this journey and really integrate this with all of my holistic healing and training that I've done over the years, and create this nice fusion of holistic health and really getting into the pathology of things as well. Speaking of pathology, I am incredibly intrigued and fascinated by the study of pathology. For those of you who don't know, pathology is the study of disease and its origins, right? So when I learned about pathology, I didn't have that terminology per se, pathology, but some time ago, maybe I guess 7-8 years ago, when I embarked on my own spiritual journey, when I started to ask myself all of these questions in regards to who I was, and really wanting to get a very cellular almost level of understanding of why I am the way that I am, why I think the way that I think, why some of these behaviors and sometimes toxic behaviors persisted. So I didn't know that that was the study of pathology, but that's exactly what I was doing when I began digging and really starting to put these pieces together. And for me, that looked like engaging in some difficult conversations with my father, getting a better understanding of who he was as a person, having conversations with my grandparents, with my mother, and really trying to understand where I came from and my lineage, and how that played a part in who I was, who I am today. Because everything has a place of origin. How we think, why we do the things that we do. A lot of it does have to do with, DNA. A lot of it is, conditioning from society, our parents, our surroundings, our environments. So there's a lot at play with that, right? And so that's really when I fell in love with psychopathology, really wanting to get a good understanding of why do I continue this negative behavior when it's to my detriment. It's not benefiting me in any way, positively anyway. It's taken away from me. It is preventing me from tapping into my best self, and my potential. So I realized that every day I feel like I receive confirmation that this is the work that I need to be doing. Really providing people with the tools, the language, and the resources that they need to better understand who they are, to start to redefine who they are, and understand, from a psychological place, how the things come to be, right? And so that's what's going on now. I feel like mental health and wellness is so important. I think it's always been important, and I think that I'm seeing a huge shift just in terms of how we speak about mental health and wellness, how we pursue it. But on the other spectrum of that, it's still very much a taboo topic. It's still one of those things in many cases where it's not seen as beneficial. Why do I need to, sit down with a therapist, a clinician, a specialist, and air out my stuff? So it is, it's great to see the evolution in how we go about pursuing mental health and wellness. But again, like I said, on the other spectrum of that, there are still large bodies of populations where that's not necessarily the case, where mental health falls by the wayside, where people are not tapping into their resources, utilizing resources that are available, knowing where to start, how to start. And so this is why I do the work that I do. And this is why I'm pursuing the studies that I am. Because I'm into this. I'm really into it. I advocate for it. I've been advocating for it, and I will continue to advocate for mental health and wellness. I think that while we're here, in the flesh, we get one shot at this as far as I know. What happens after death, that's up to debate, right? So as far as I know, we get one shot at this thing called life. And life is going to throw us some shit, okay? It's going to throw us some things and, create some challenges, and it's going to be some things that try to get in our way. Life is not easy, but I also think that it doesn't have to be incredibly challenging and hard all the time, right? And so I feel like while we're here, I am wanting to assist people in making the most out of this time that we have, and really attempting to live fulfilling lives. I feel like when we have an understanding of who we are and where we come from and why we do the things that we do, why we think the way that we think, we have better footing, a better foundation to pursue living healthier, fulfilling, more joyous, invigorating, and purposeful lives, right? And so that's a little bit about, me and just my pursuit of mental health. I look at it as a muscle, and as a muscle, like everything else, you have to work it. You have to work that muscle consistently, diligently, always. Because it's like if you don't use it, you lose it. And so you want to constantly be working that muscle, constantly practice being disciplined and the art of obtaining power over our psyche. The mind is such an amazing and beautiful thing, and it's incredibly powerful, but we also know that it can be incredibly detrimental as well. It can have some very adverse negative effects on our lives, and that can have a trickle-down effect, in other areas. So I just wanted to talk a little bit, about mental health and really talk about the importance of it, share with you guys, my journey in my program. I'm excited to be able to, again, fuse all of this new information with everything else that I have been, advocating for. Um, yeah, it's really exciting. I'm excited. It's a lot of work, but, I'm a fan of leaning into the work, doing the work, and I'm excited about sharing everything that I have to give, because what good is it if I'm just going to hold on to all of this invaluable information, right? There's no good. At least I don't see it that way. So, yeah. Cheers to 2020. Cheers to being that much more intentional about pursuing our mental health and wellness, diligently practicing, on a day-to-day basis, finding ways to integrate in our life that's going to promote wellness mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, finding ways that is going to promote a more joyous, fulfilling, purposeful life, right? So that's all. I don't want to be on here for too long. So like this video, subscribe to my channel, share it with your friends and family, and encourage someone to, take more intentional care with your mental health and your overall wellness, because it's all interconnected and it's all relevant. Encourage someone today. Yeah, so that's all I have, guys. Thanks so much for watching my video. I hope all is well. And as always, we'll talk soon. Bye.